All right, Kirby Smart and the Georgia Bulldogs with kind of an ugly 41-31 win over Mississippi State. It should not have been this close. I do think that the game was not as close as the scoreboard indicated, but a 10-point win is a 10-point win. Big day for the Georgia offense, a career day for Carson Beck. He threw the ball 48 times in this game. Was not expecting that. They only ran the ball 20 plus times, 29 times, but he was 36 for 48, 459 yards, 3 touchdowns, 2 interceptions, one of them on the second play of the game. The first play was an Arian Smith drop. The second play was a tipped pass. Mississippi State intercepted it. They kick a field goal. Georgia's down 3-0, right? Another somewhat slow start. But then the offense picked it up. They went, I think, touchdown. No, they went field goal, touchdown, touchdown, missed field goal to end the half. And you're feeling pretty good. Listen, the game was never in doubt. But at some point, this team has to play to the standard that they put on themselves. They want to be elite. They want to smash teams into the ground. They want to play elite football in every aspect of the game, all 3 phases, and they're not doing it right now. That Carson Beck interception midway through the third quarter, a touchdown there puts the game away. Just puts the game away, and if you're a Georgia fan, you're starting to feel pretty good about how the game's going. It was a bad decision. It was a bad throw. State intercepts it. And sorry, something came up on the screen. And then they score a touchdown, and they're right back in it. They scored another touchdown late. I mean, the game should never have been 41-31. And again, Georgia's offensive line didn't play their best. The run game still wasn't there. That's something we wanted to see from this team. They should have run the ball through Mississippi State, and they didn't. Thanks to Arian Smith, that was the big play, or the big run. He went for 57 yards. Yeah, he had a 52-yard. He was the team's leading rusher. 1 carry for 52 yards. Trevor Etienne, 11 carries for just 35 yards and a touchdown. Branson Robinson had a short touchdown. But they averaged 5.2 yards a game before those 2 kneels. That's got to get better. They've got to be able to run the football better than this. Defensively, you can't give up 31 points to a struggling Mississippi State team. That quarterback wasn't great, and he made some big throws. Let's see their numbers. Mississippi State, that kid threw for 306 yards, 3 touchdowns. They had a receiver catch 8 passes for 103 yards. They didn't rush the ball all that well. They picked up 79 yards on the ground. They averaged just 3 yards a carry. But they fought. I mean, Georgia had multiple opportunities to put this game away, and Mississippi State just kept fighting back, trying to fight back. And again, I mean, they only lost the game by 10. Texas played Mississippi State better than Georgia did today. I thought the crowd was a little better than last week, but defensively, they've got to get off the field better. I'm looking through the numbers right here, trying to find some stuff that stands out. But they moved the ball too much. Let's go a comparison here. Georgia had 605 total yards in this game. They were moving the ball. The 2 interceptions were bad, and if you want to give Carson Beck a lot of grief for this game, go for it. A lot of this stuff was side to side. There were plenty of passes down the field. I thought he threw some ropes in this game. And you have to if you're going to get for 459. But it looked like they came out a little vanilla. A lot of stuff to the sidelines, like little, wide receiver screens. A little, a quick pass to Etienne with 2 blockers in front of him. A lot of passes like that, nothing special. They went out with a basic offense, but they had to evolve it when they tried to put the game away. There was a little razzle-dazzle of a play that I think went to Oscar Delp where it went out to the 1. But yeah, defensively, you could make the case this might be their worst game it's giving up 31 points to Mississippi State worse than giving up 40 or 1 or whatever it was to Alabama. You can make the case. They threw for 306. Georgia only had 5 penalties, 28 first downs. Mississippi State didn't have a first down until a big pass down the field, and they would score on that. I think it was I'm trying to think of the linebacker who I don't want to say someone's name because I could be wrong, but I know Dalen Everett was the guy they scored the touchdown on. They had either a tight end or a running back kind of sneak out of the backfield and sneak behind him. Dalen Everett, I guess, thought the quarterback might run, but he leaves this man He's wide open for a touchdown. Daniel Harris, I think it was Daniel Harris who got torched down the field. They've got to play better. I didn't think the defensive line played all that bad. I thought the linebackers maybe could have played a little better, but the secondary has its issues. Dan Jackson's a really good player. KJ Bolden had his first interception of his Georgia career. Malachi Starks, I feel like should be playing a little better as an All-American, but he's not playing bad. They need better play from their cornerbacks. There's no doubt about that. We saw Ellis Robinson in the game late. Maybe he'll start to play more, but they're not playing at an elite level right now. They're not doing it on offense. They're too inconsistent on offense. They don't have the rushing game that we've seen out of them. They're not crushing teams the way they used to, and I think Georgia fans just have to accept it. This ain't that team. This is not 21. This is not 22. This doesn't look like the same team that we saw last year that was crushing top 15, top 10 Ole Miss, crushed a top 20 Kentucky. Mississippi State was in this game because Georgia let them into the game. Georgia just played sloppy football for a lot of this game, and it should not have been 10 points heading into the fourth quarter. It should not have been a 10-point game with the final score. Georgia's got to play better. I mean, this is one of the easier teams they've got on the schedule the rest of the way. And if they play like they did tonight in Austin, Texas, they're going to lose. That did not look like a championship team out there. And again, Georgia fans love the spread, and I get it. It's a big thing in sports nowadays. They didn't come close to it. And I had a strong feeling they weren't going to do it. 34 is a lot of points. I mean, that is a butt kicking. But Georgia fans are used to that. They're used to seeing Georgia crush teams, before the third quarter. And the games are over at the half. And this one felt over the whole way. Georgia was not going to lose this game. It was never in doubt. But they didn't put them away. And they weren't going to lose, right? But you want to see them put the dagger in them, that stake in them, and say, okay, you're done. Game's over. There's no more fighting. Like, you're dead. And Mississippi State was not dead. Georgia had a chance to put this one over with, but Carson Beck threw the interception. Mississippi State comes back down the field, and boom, it's 34-24, 10-point game. It didn't feel like it, but Georgia's sloppy play allowed Mississippi State to get back into this game. And I'm not going to worry about the defense because, Mississippi State was 2 for 12 on third down, but the numbers speak for themselves. It didn't look like Georgia was as aggressive as we've seen in the past. They weren't flying to the football. They weren't as fast. It just didn't feel the same. It didn't look elite. And that's what this team prides themselves on, elite play after play, grind them down, make them want to give up. Mississippi State didn't give up. They didn't. Alabama didn't give up. Kentucky sure didn't give up. So maybe that's what we're going to see with this team. There's going to, be some knife fights, and nothing's going to come easy. And I know that Carson Beck had a big day, even though that interception was bad, right? And a lot of it was side to side. There was, kind of one read, boom, get the ball out to this guy, get a couple blockers, and let's move the ball that way. I didn't think they would show a ton, a week before Texas, but they got to get off to a faster start. They can't go down on the road. And it was just, they just went down 3-0 here. They came back and scored a touchdown, but out the gate, you want to see this team get off to a fast start right when the game starts. And that's just, still haven't seen that yet from this particular team. There's a lot to work on. I would not call them an elite football team right now, but who is, right? Texas might be, Ohio State might be, Alabama's not. We'll see if Oregon is. Penn State's not. USC blew that game earlier. So there are not a lot of really good teams in college football. And this is the worst Georgia team since 20 or 19. It feels like 19 in a way. I think Carson Beck is better than Jake Fromm, but Carson Beck still has to play better, and he's got to make better decisions for a full 4 quarters. And they've got to be able to run the football. I said if they can't run for, 180, close to 200 against Mississippi State, it might not happen. It sure doesn't look like it's going to happen next week. Maybe they need that off week. Again, they need another bye week, but they've got Texas next, and they've got to play a lot better. If you're giving up 31 to Mississippi State and letting that kid throw for 306 and 3 touchdowns, they might be in some real trouble against Quinn Ewers / Arch Manning, whoever's back there. But they've got a real challenge on their hands, and they need another big week of practice to get this together because they're just too inconsistent right now. And again, the game felt like it was more than a 10-point victory, but the scoreboard's the scoreboard, and Georgia didn't come close to winning by 34. The folks in Vegas, I don't think, are watching this team very closely, because that wasn't easy. That should have been my lock of the week, Mississippi State to cover. I picked them to cover. I didn't think Georgia would just beat them by 10 points. I thought it'd be 28, right? 27, maybe 30 at the most. And that would have been really impressive, but they've got to play better. They've got to run the ball better. The secondary's got to get better. They only had 1 sack, I think, from Chaz Chambliss. They've got to play more consistent football in all phases of the game. They got to get better. That's what I learned. They looked good at times tonight, but they let State back in the game, and there were self-inflicted penalties. There's a lot this team has to get better with, and they've got a week to do it, because they can't go to Austin playing like this. They need to improve. They've got a week to do it. So we'll see, but ugly 10-point win out here today. Big day for Carson Beck in a way. Arian Smith had a couple drops, but came back big. He had 5 catches for 120 plus yards. I had it right in front of me. And now 134 and a touchdown. Dylan Bell had a touchdown. Lawson Lucky had a touchdown. There's some good things to take away from this, but they've got to get better. That's the main takeaway. They can't play as sloppy as they did tonight and stay in the game against Texas. They better bring their A game, or else it's not going to be great. Thanks for watching. Hope you learned something. Read more about this and everything else over on the website, and I'll see you over there. Thanks.